Usually when we talk about a medical diagnosis,
Mm-hmm.
there's this expectation of precision, right? It feels very much like engineering.
Oh, totally. Like a machine.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you break your arm, the x-ray shows that jagged white line, and the doctor just points at the screen and says, there it is. That's the problem.
Right. It's a very binary way of looking at the body. It's either broken or not broken.
Right, it's clean. But then you look at how we treat our skin or, our hair, and suddenly that clinical precision just completely
It
vanishes.
really does. We just kind of guess.
We do. We start treating our biology like we are just, I don't know, spackling a wall, got a blemish, spackle it with concealer, hair is dry and brittle, just coated in some $50 synthetic serum.
Yeah, we treat the surface, but we completely ignore the actual architectural structure underneath the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is why we are here today. Welcome, learner, to today's deep dive. Our mission today is to shortcut your journey to radiant skin and strong hair. And we are doing that by just throwing out the spackle.
No more spackle.
No more spackle. We're breaking down a holistic 360-degree ecosystem. We're looking at a massive stack of sources today to uncover the exact foods, the biological mechanisms, and some incredibly clever kitchen-to-bathroom hybrids that will fundamentally change your skin's architecture.
Because achieving healthy skin, it isn't about spending a fortune on luxury creams. You really have to look at the inside out and the outside in approaches simultaneously.
Right.
I mean, the skin is your body's largest organ, and it is a direct reflection of your internal ecosystem.
So we have to start from the absolute foundation, which is the inside-out approach. You simply cannot fix from the outside what is structurally broken on the inside.
Exactly.
To borrow that wall analogy from earlier, I think of skincare routines like painting a house. If the drywall underneath is just rotting away because of a poor diet and chronic dehydration, the most expensive, luxurious paint in the world is not going to save the wall from crumbling.
That analogy holds up perfectly on a cellular level, honestly.
Oh.
Yeah. To understand why that drywall is rotting, we have to look at the mechanism of how nutrition actually reaches a skin cell. People often think of food as just, fuel for energy.
Right. Calories in, calories out.
Exactly. But what you put into your digestive tract is broken down into base molecules, absorbed into the bloodstream, and literally becomes the physical building blocks of your new skin and hair.
So it's not just energy, it's actual material.
Right. And small, consistent dietary additions alter the molecular makeup of that drywall much more effectively than, those occasional extreme diet overhauls.
So the idea of eating a giant kale salad once a month to offset a diet of fast food, that doesn't actually give the cells what they need to regenerate.
No, it really doesn't.
Well, our sources from dermatologists and nutritionists often point to a specific group of superfoods. They call it the Super 9, that provide the highest yield for skin health.
Oh, yeah, the Super 9.
Yeah. Avocados are constantly brought up, and not just for the healthy fats, but because they are incredibly dense in vitamin E and C.
Which are crucial for skin elasticity.
Exactly. And then you have the dark berries, like blueberries and blackberries.
Right. Well, the dark berries are vital because of a specific compound they contain called anthocyanins.
Anthocyanins. Okay, what do those do?
They are these really powerful antioxidants, but to understand why they actually matter, you have to understand oxidative stress.
Okay, break that down for us.
So throughout the day, your skin is just bombarded by UV rays and pollution, and these create free radicals in your body. Free radicals are essentially unstable, jagged little molecules that are missing an electron.
Okay.
They bounce around, ripping electrons off your healthy skin cells just to stabilize themselves. And that damages the cell DNA and causes premature aging.
So they're just like molecular vandals tearing up the neighborhood.
Exactly. That's exactly what they are. So anthocyanins step in and essentially donate an electron to those free radicals, neutralizing them before they can damage your skin's collagen fibers.
Oh, wow. That makes total sense. Now, there's another category here that really caught my attention in the research. Nuts and seeds. Almonds, flax, chia seeds.
Oh, those are huge.
Right. We've all been told they have healthy fats, but chemically they're carrying massive amounts of zinc and copper.
Yeah, zinc and copper are like the unsung heroes of dermatology. They act as cofactors for collagen synthesis.
Cofactors.
Yeah, think of collagen as the steel rebar inside your drywall that keeps everything firm and prevents sagging.
Okay, tracking with you.
Your body manufactures collagen, but the enzymes that build those collagen strands require zinc and copper to physically turn on and function.
Wait, really? So without those trace minerals, collagen production just stalls out.
Completely stalls out. You have to have them.
That is wild. Which brings us to a few unexpected heroes on the grocery list. sweet potatoes. I always thought of them as just, a complex carb.
Right, a Thanksgiving side dish.
Exactly. But they are loaded with beta-carotene. And the biological mechanism here is fascinating. Your body absorbs the beta-carotene, and it actually accumulates in the outer layers of your skin.
Yep, and it acts as natural internal UV protection.
Right. It physically absorbs UV radiation, shielding the delicate DNA underneath. It's like internal sunscreen.
It's amazing. And another really good one is dark chocolate, but specifically 70% cocoa or higher.
Why does the percentage matter?
Well, the percentage matters because you need a high concentration of flavonols without the massive sugar spike that comes from, like, standard milk chocolate.
Ah, okay.
Flavonols are bioactive compounds that trigger the production of nitric oxide in your body. Nitric oxide relaxes your blood vessels, causing them to widen.
Which means more blood flow.
Exactly. Massive blood flow directly to the skin. Which means all those vitamins, the zinc, the copper, the beta-carotene we just talked about, they're delivered much faster and more efficiently to the cells that actually need them.
But none of that delivery happens without the transit system, right? Water.
Oh, water is everything.
It's so easy to just say, drink more water. But from a dermatological standpoint, water isn't just about quenching thirst. It's the fluid dynamics of your entire system. It flushes metabolic waste, it maintains the volume of your blood, and it works in direct tandem with the topical products you're putting on your face.
This is a really crucial point, especially regarding ingredients like hyaluronic acid, which is in, like, almost every moisturizer right now.
Yeah, you see HA everywhere.
Right. Well, hyaluronic acid is a humectant. On a molecular level, a single molecule of HA can hold up to 1,000 times its own weight in water.
1,000 times.
Yeah, it acts like a microscopic sponge.
But a sponge needs water to absorb. If the air in your house is dry and your body's internally dehydrated, where is that sponge getting the water from?
That's the trap. It pulls it from the deepest layers of your own skin.
Oh, no.
Yeah, if you apply hyaluronic acid to a dehydrated face in a dry climate, that molecular sponge will siphon water out of your deeper dermal layers, pull it to the surface, and just let it evaporate into the air.
So you will actually end up making your skin drier and accelerating fine lines if you don't provide the internal hydration first.
Exactly. You're just drying yourself out faster.
Wow. Okay, so the drywall has to be structurally sound and deeply hydrated. But even if you have the perfect diet and you're drinking a gallon of water a day, there are biological saboteurs that can ruin all of it.
Oh, absolutely. The wrecking balls.
Yes, the brain-skin axis. If diet and water are the foundation of the house, chronic stress and lack of sleep are the wrecking balls.
The primary biochemical wrecker here is cortisol, the stress hormone.
Right.
When you are under constant low-grade psychological stress, whether it's your commute, your inbox, or just modern life, your body pumps out cortisol.
And what does that do to the skin?
It's catastrophic. It activates a specific group of enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases, or MMPs.
Okay, and what exactly do MMPs do?
They are essentially molecular scissors. Their primary function in this stress state is to seek out and literally chop up collagen and elastin fiber.
Wait, so your stress is actively dissolving the firmness of your face?
Yes, literally dissolving it. And concurrently, high cortisol triggers a systemic inflammatory response. The immune system goes into overdrive.
And I imagine that shows up on the skin pretty quickly.
It does. This inflammation manifests as sudden cystic acne breakouts, eczema flare-ups, and psoriasis. Your skin barrier becomes compromised because your body is allocating all its resources to fight a perceived internal threat.
And then we compound that stress by not sleeping.
Oh, sleep is so critical.
The biology of sleep and skin and the sources is just wild. Cell turnover and collagen production are circadian, operating on a very strict 24-hour internal clock.
Right.
Those specific repair mechanisms peak in the middle of the night. If you're getting less than 5 hours of sleep, you are physically interrupting the skin's designated time block to heal the UV and free radical damage from the day.
Because human growth hormone, which drives all that cellular repair, is released during the deepest stages of slow-wave sleep.
Right.
If you truncate your sleep cycle, you miss those vital HGH spikes. So you wake up with dark circles, a dull complexion, and pooling fluid under your eyes simply because your body didn't get to run its maintenance protocol.
So beauty sleep is not just a marketing catchphrase. It is an absolute biological requirement.
100%.
To combat this, a lot of dermatological literature points toward internal plant-based supplements, right? Melatonin to help induce those deeper sleep cycles.
Yeah.
Valerian root, which interacts with GABA, a neurotransmitter in your brain, to essentially slow down the nervous system and reduce anxiety.
Magnesium is another big one, which works similarly. But it's something a massive portion of the population is deficient in due to highly processed diets.
And ashwagandha, which
Mm.
is proven to lower circulating cortisol by up to 30%.
Ashwagandha is incredible.
But I have to push back here for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
If someone is working an 80-hour week and they are deeply stressed about their life taking a pill, like ashwagandha isn't going to change their schedule. Isn't this just putting a pharmacological Band-Aid over a toxic lifestyle?
I totally understand the skepticism, and it's a really important distinction to make. But we aren't talking about painkillers that just mask a symptom here.
Wow.
Ashwagandha belongs to a class of herbs called adaptogens. They don't change the external stressor, but they fundamentally alter the body's physiological baseline by regulating the HPA axis, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis.
That's the system that controls how much cortisol we produce, right?
Precisely. When you are chronically stressed, that HPA axis essentially gets stuck in the on position. The cortisol drip never stops, even when you're trying to relax on the couch.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Right. So adaptogens physically interact with those receptors to downregulate the excessive signaling. They reset the thermostat. You are giving your nervous system the biochemical tools it needs to process the stress, stop the release of those MMP molecular scissors we talked about, and let the skin begin to heal.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we've repaired the drywall, the internal environment is optimized, the HPA axis is regulated, the nutrients are flowing.
Now we can finally move to the outside.
Yes. But before anyone runs to a department store to buy a $100 serum, there's a fascinating movement toward utilizing highly effective, scientifically sound topical remedies sitting right in the kitchen.
The kitchen-to-bathroom pipeline is gaining massive traction in dermatological circles.
I love that phrase, kitchen-to-bathroom pipeline.
It's so true, though, because it relies on bioavailable ingredients with incredibly low toxicity profiles that have, frankly, been working for centuries.
Let's look at the 20-cent face mask. It's essentially just an egg.
Yeah, just an egg.
The egg white acts as a natural astringent. It physically tightens the pores as it dries. But the crucial step most people miss is they throw the yolk away. The yolk is the powerhouse.
Oh, throwing away the yolk removes all the lipid-soluble vitamins. The yolk is exceptionally dense in naturally occurring vitamin A, which, by the way, is what prescription retinol is derived from.
Wait, really? The same stuff?
The exact same base, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus it has vitamin D, E, K, and a nutrient called choline, which helps build healthy cell membranes.
And if you mix that yolk with a teaspoon of plain organic unsweetened yogurt, the lactic acid gently exfoliates the dead skin cells, while the probiotics in the yogurt actively feed the natural bacteria on your skin's microbiome.
And there's an inside-out synergy here, too.
Right? Eating 2 to 5 eggs, daily cooked in olive oil, actively avoiding inflammatory seed oils, provides those same exact building blocks directly to your bloodstream.
Another remarkable kitchen staple is aloe vera. It's often relegated to sunblock, but Cleopatra documented using the desert lily thousands of years ago.
Cleopatra was using aloe.
Oh, yeah. The clear gel inside the leaf contains a compound called aloin, which directly stimulates the growth of new fibroblasts.
Remind us what fibroblasts are.
They're the cells responsible for producing collagen. Aloe also possesses enzymes that break down excess sebum on the scalp without stripping the natural lipid barrier.
Let's pause and unpack this, though. If I just go into my kitchen right now and start smearing raw egg yolk, yogurt, and aloe vera directly onto my face, isn't that a massive risk for breakouts or bacterial infections? The skin barrier is delicate.
It is a valid concern, and you should always patch test natural ingredients.
Right.
For example, coconut oil is heavily praised, but it is highly comedogenic.
Meaning it clogs pores.
Exactly. Its molecular structure is too large to easily pass through the pore, so it clogs it, leading to breakouts. However, the reason ingredients like egg yolk and aloe are so effective comes down to that concept of bioavailability.
Explain that, because synthetic chemicals are engineered in a lab to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
Why would natural be better?
Well, they are engineered to be stable, not necessarily perfect for absorption. Synthetic vitamins often have slightly different molecular shapes or isomers than naturally occurring ones. Your skin cells have receptors that act like locks, and the vitamins are the keys. Because ingredients like the vitamin A and an egg yolk are in their natural unsynthesized state, the cellular locks recognize the key instantly.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the skin easily absorbs and utilizes those raw nutrients without mounting an inflammatory defense response.
Which brings us to the ultimate protocol for all of this. Pure DIY is brilliant, but we live in the modern world and we need targeted efficiency.
We need results.
Exactly. So the optimal routine is a hybrid. It's marrying the low toxicity and bioavailability of nature with the targeted heavy lifting power of store-bought, lab-formulated products.
Right.
It's kind of like driving a hybrid car. You use the electric battery, your natural, gentle remedies like the aloe and the yolk for the daily commute to keep the system running cleanly. But the gas engine, the store-bought chemical actives, kicks in when you need aggressive power to fix tough skin issues.
That framework is perfect.
Oh.
By using those bioavailable natural ingredients, you're building a deeply hydrated, fortified skin barrier.
Which protects you.
Exactly. A strong barrier actually allows you to use stronger store-bought chemicals without suffering the redness, peeling, or chemical burns that so many people experience.
It's all about smart mixing. Using a plant-based physical exfoliant alongside a gentle store-bought chemical cleanser. But there are also massive routine hacks that involve no products at all, just altering your physical environment.
Like applying your moisturizer while your skin is still dripping wet from the shower?
Yes. Why does that work so well?
That targets a phenomenon called transepidermal water loss. When you step out of a warm shower, the water on the surface of your skin rapidly evaporates, and it actually pulls internal moisture out with it.
Like the hyaluronic acid trap again.
Very similar. By applying a lipid-based moisturizer while the skin is still wet, you trap that surface water, physically locking it against the stratum corneum so it is forced to absorb.
And the shower itself is a huge factor here. Long, steaming hot showers feel amazing, but biologically, that hot water is literally melting the lipid matrix, the mortar holding your skin cells together.
Yeah, it just strips the natural oils right off.
The hack is to shorten the shower and turn the water to cool for the final 30 seconds.
And the cold water plunge does two things. First, it stops the lipid barrier from degrading. Second, it causes acute vasoconstriction.
So your blood vessels rapidly shrink away from the cold.
Right. And then when you step out, they dilate back open, aggressively flushing the skin tissue with fresh, highly oxygenated blood.
It's a localized vascular workout. I love it. Now, tying this back to the hybrid car analogy, let's talk about the heavy-duty gas engine. Retinol.
Retinol.
Retinol is arguably the most powerful over-the-counter anti-aging product available. It operates by aggressively stimulating cellular turnover and a process called angiogenesis.
Yes, angiogenesis is the physiological creation of entirely new blood vessels.
Yeah.
As the retinol penetrates the dermis, it signals the body to build new microscopic capillaries.
And more capillaries mean an influx of fresh nutrients to the surface, which physically accelerates the fading of hyperpigmentation and scars.
Yeah.
But retinol is notoriously harsh. It can leave your face red, peeling, and incredibly sensitive.
Which is exactly why the hybrid approach is necessary. You use the lab-formulated retinol to trigger the angiogenesis, but you buffer it by applying raw shea butter or calendula oil over the top.
Oh, to calm it down.
Right. Shea butter is intensely rich in stearic and oleic acids, which provide massive anti-inflammatory support. You are letting the chemical do the heavy lifting while the natural botanical constantly repairs the collateral damage.
You're using the electric battery to prep the environment so the gas engine doesn't blow out the system. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, we've spent this entire time obsessing over the face, but dermatologically speaking, we completely ignore that this exact same biological barrier extends straight up, slightly further north, right under our hair.
The scalp. We really do treat hair care and skin care like two completely different sciences, but the scalp is just an extension of the face.
It's the same skin.
It has the exact same stratum corneum, the same hair follicles, the same sebaceous glands.
And the health of that skin completely dictates the structural integrity of your hair. And the most impactful intervention for scalp health from the sources doesn't even come in a bottle. It's mechanical.
Yep.
Taking just 2 to 5 minutes a day to manually massage the scalp, using the pads of your fingers, never your nails, or a soft silicone brush, radically alters the biology of the hair follicle.
It's definitely not just about relaxation. The mechanical action of physically stretching the skin cells of the scalp actually signals the dermal papilla cells at the base of the hair follicle to produce thicker hair shafts.
That is wild.
And simultaneously, the pressure dramatically increases blood perfusion.
So more blood flow means more oxygen, more zinc, more copper being delivered directly to the root, which physically extends the anagen phase, the active growth phase of the hair cycle.
Right, and if you want to add a targeted topical to that mechanical massage, argan oil is the gold standard.
Often referred to as liquid gold in Morocco.
Right. Yes. It is exceptionally dense in oleic and linoleic acids. The oleic acid is small enough to physically penetrate the hair shaft to moisturize from within, while the linoleic acid sits on the outside.
creating a lipid barrier against heat styling and environmental damage.
Exactly. It also possesses anti-inflammatory properties that calm conditions like scalp psoriasis.
The application is incredibly simple too. You can drop 1 or 2 drops of argan oil directly into your normal store-bought shampoo right in your palm.
Super easy.
Or if you're doing a deep tissue massage, use an oil distribution comb at night to really saturate the scalp. Just make sure you wash it out the next morning so the oil doesn't eventually oxidize and clog the follicle.
Crucial step. Yes. Wash it out.
But here is my final point of skepticism for the day.
Bring it on.
What does this actually mean for someone's daily routine? We've talked about diet, sleep, masks, cold water. Do I really need to add a 10-minute scalp massage to an already chaotic, overbooked morning?
It is an overwhelming thought if you view it as adding extra tasks. But this isn't about adding time, it's about shifting intention.
Okay, shifting intention.
Yeah, you don't need a dedicated 10-minute block. A quick 2-minute dry massage with your fingertips while you're reading emails in the morning, or simply using a silicone brush for 60 seconds while you are already lathering shampoo in the shower.
Oh,
You are already doing these activities, you just need to alter the mechanical intention behind them to increase that blood perfusion.
maximize the time you are already spending. That's great. So if we step back and look at this entire ecosystem we've mapped out today, it's a completely interconnected web.
It really is.
You have to build the internal drywall first with deep hydration and those super 9 nutrient-dense foods.
You have to protect that drywall from the wrecking balls of cortisol by regulating your nervous system and fiercely guarding those deep, slow-wave sleep cycles.
Then you can turn to those bioavailable kitchen staples, the raw, egg yolks, and aloe, to fortify the barrier, which ultimately allows you to seamlessly integrate those heavy-hitting lab actives like retinol without burning out your skin.
And finally, realizing that the ecosystem doesn't stop at your hairline. Giving your scalp the exact same mechanical and vascular attention that you give your face.
It fundamentally changes how you view a mirror. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive, learner.
Oh.
We have covered an immense amount of biological ground today, from the zinc in your chia seeds to the temperature of your shower water.
So much ground.
Our challenge to you is to pick just one specific mechanism, whether it's applying moisturizer to wet skin to stop water loss, or just shifting the intention of how you wash your hair and implement it today.
Just one thing.
But we want to leave you with one final, broader thought. At the beginning, we talked about spackling a broken wall. But in reality, your skin and your hair act as a real-time external dashboard of your internal physiological health. The next time you see a sudden cystic breakout, or notice your complexion looking dull or your hair thinning out, instead of immediately rushing to the store to ask, what expensive chemical should I buy to cover this up? Pause. Look at the dashboard and ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me about how I am living my life right now?